Yo, making
What's going on, Machine
money.
Masters, and Happy New Year.
Cheers, everybody, drinking Heineken out here in Northern California. Just had a 2-hour studio session earlier today at Red Eye Recording Studios. It's Chinese New Year out here. There's firecrackers going off like crazy. Cheers. Let's do this. What is up, everybody? Demise here. This video is titled, what did I title this video? Making money from your music, whether it's rock and roll, whether you're a drummer, a guitar player, a rapper, whatever it is. There's ways you can make money. Now, the fundamentals of music are you put your music out there, you let people hear it, and if they enjoy it and they like it, they're going to ask you, where can I hear more of it? And if you have an album, if you have a playlist on YouTube or on Spotify, you can go out there and say, hey, check out my music at this link right here. Hit me up on Instagram. I got an album coming out soon, or I got music coming out real soon. Okay? So, with that said, that's one way you can do it. Or, the reason why I did this particular way of making money from music, the old school way, is because I wanted to throw myself in the real grit of it all. I wanted to see how the rappers before did it, like the Too Shorts, E40s, Mac Dre's, Tupac's, all those fools that sold their music from out. It's called out the trunk, right? Selling tapes out the trunk. All that stuff is called out the trunk. You learn a lot from that. So therefore, I was like, let me throw myself into that. Even though it's a new generation, I said, I'm gonna throw myself into the grit of it all. You know what I mean? Just like if you were, you wanted to be a classical piano player, and you wanted to be playing really good shows. Well, you want to start with some crazy stuff. Play some dark and scary tones. Play some of those Mozart songs that are like really eerie and scary because it's off. It's off time. It's off. It's just weird, right? So when you do that, you're throwing yourself in to the grit, the getting your hands dirty. You're underneath the hood of the car when you're doing that. So therefore, that's why I started off with cassette tape. I was like, hey, this is way out of my generation. Cassette tapes, that shit is not even, that's back before when I was like a baby and a kid. I'm gonna spank you. So when I said, when I want to start creating music, I want to dive in there. I want to get in the hood, under the hood of the car, get in the engine, and really talk to people about it, because online with social media and all that stuff, you can portray something, and the best thing to do with that is say, hey, I'm having a meetup here or there. Everyone come out, and if you want to meet me in person, that's a way you can leverage social media or the new ways of selling music now. So those are definitely some ways. But I'm going to tell you from what I did and how you can get tangible money, people vibing out to your shit, people listening to it, and having a solid team of people. When you have a solid team of people, like even right now, I have a decision to make. Okay, a decision to throw a show. If I do that, I'm gonna have to put up $150 via PayPal. I'm gonna have to set up the show, make sure that everyone that comes in is willing to pay $5 or $10. I can keep a certain percentage of that, but that's not the main thing. The main focus is having a good night and a good time. So that is one way you can make money off of music, throwing shows. Being a drummer in a band, fucking playing the show, no one thinks the drummer is going to be editing the videos and kind of quote unquote marketing the music. But me, I do that. And that's what me and my cousin were talking about. And he was saying, like, I thought you wanted to be the band manager. And I was like, wait, I never knew that I never knew he wanted me to be the band manager, or that he said that he had that in his mind. But I'm like, that's too much to take in, because I also have Demise. Demise is the hip hop rap, and Scala is the rock. Like the man who tries to catch two rabbits catches none. I gotta watch out for that. You know, if there's a way I can combine Demise and Scala together on the same type of bill or the same type of record label thingy, then that would work. But the way I got it going on, the two separate entities, I wouldn't be able to manage um, the rock stuff. So when I make the rock music with the boys, with the Scala boys, and we get paid for shows, when we were out in Spokane, Washington, we got $50, right? Which is not a lot, but it's better than zero. And we got a bunch of free drinks. So we got $50 worth of free beers and whatever drinks. So that's showing up, being there on time, and they say, hey, you guys are a band out of the Bay Area, California, and you guys come out here. We're gonna give you $50 cash. It's a little small city called Spokane, Washington, and they don't get a lot of known musicians out there. So when we go out there, they're looking up to us like, you guys are pretty big time if you guys are from the Silicon Valley Bay Area. And it's like, no, thanks, but you know, this is gas money right here. $50 gas. At the Caravan, which is downtown San Jose, we got $81 checks. We get $70 checks. The last one we got was what was it, babe? 80 something? Yeah, something like that. So here's the thing though. When it comes to making money off of music, there's two ways. You can make it because that's your main force, your main drive, and you're all about the money, that's fine. But there's another way is you're really, really into the music, and the money's going to kind of follow, right? So as long as you're sticking with it and you're really pushing it out there and making the right moves and not just making music every day, going in a figure eight, like, oh, I'm doing something, I'm staying busy. There's a difference between being busy and getting shit done. All right, that's what I learned. If you're busy, 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 and you're not getting shit done, then you're just busy, busy, busy like a fucking hamster in a wheel. You want to be getting shit done. That's why I told my brother Rick one, I said, simplify everything. Get that verse done, get the next one done, get that song done, and say, boom, there it is. Boom. And he already knows that. You know, like my cousin said, KISS, KISS, keep it simple, stupid. And I have a hard time with that because I like overcomplicating shit sometimes. You know? That's how life is, though. You know? You want to overcomplicate stuff or you want to make it simple. The simpler you make it, you know. Oh, hell that. Let me see that's it. Okay, so here's the one way that I made a video already, but this is a live stream version of it. Is that when I was a cook at a restaurant, okay, and I realized, I said, holy shnikes, I love music. What is more important to me, making all this money at this job, or putting out music, videos, content, just content, you know what I mean? It just so happens that I like music, but I'm passionate about that. So when it really comes down to it, it's like an author thinks the same way about their book. Someone with film thinks the same way about their movie. It just so happens that I like music, so that's something that I pinpoint and I look at and I say, I gotta, you know, before I pass away, before I die, I gotta put an album out, right? That's my book, that's my movie, that's my story, that's my product, okay? That's my invention. And I you know, focused, studied, motivated, inspired, digging myself out of a dark hole that I put myself in. And when I realized that I put myself in that hole of boozing every day, smoking cigarettes every day, I'm telling you, I'll drink like fucking 10 of these in one day, every day. I was terrible. When I finally realized I was the one causing all that, I said, "Fuck, it's time to focus on the music. If you can make yourself pissed drunk, getting fucked up every day, and not even knowing what time it is and waking up, falling asleep when the sun's up, waking up when the sun's down, and you're like, what the fuck? If you can do that to yourself, you can put music out." So I said, let's do this shit. All right? And there's possibility of anything, making money off of it, making quote unquote fame off of it, which is something that I'd never really been about. It's always been about the love, the culture, and the lifestyle of music as a whole. Whether it's rock, whether it's rap, whether it's hip hop, whether it's lyrical, spiritual, coming on with the lyrical stuff. Whatever. You know what I mean? It's just music in general. Death metal, heavy metal, rock, you know? So, here's one way right here. Let's show you guys. Let's show you these boys. Boom, baby. Let me turn this light on right here. Let's see if this works. Boom, baby. You see that? Sorry. You see that? Boom. Barcode. Demise. 14 tracks, right? Good stuff. Not gonna well, I just did, but I'm not gonna pat myself on the back and be like, you made it, bro, you did it, because to me, that was a huge accomplishment, right? To me, that was a big accomplishment. To life and to the universe, I didn't make a single blip, okay? So, with that said, I have to just keep elevating, keep staying self-aware, and keep going after it. Whatever moves I feel I want to take, whatever moves I feel I need to make. You know what I mean? Like, what's the next thing I got? What's the next step that I could take right now that's gonna elevate this music 10 times? Okay? Once I get that, I'm gonna elevate and say, let's go 100 times. Okay? Then after that, a couple months later, say, I got it. I'm feeling hot right now. I'm feeling, I went from cold to warm to hot. I want to get blazing fucking hot. I want to make the money. I want to meet the people. I want to get the attention, right? Because there's attention. You're gonna want to seek that as well. It all comes together in a package. You're gonna wanna explain why you wrote a certain song you did, and you're gonna want to multiply it by 1,000,000. And when you get to that point, you're gonna have to be ready. So there's something that everyone that all humans strive for, and what that is most likely to I think it's just to stand out, because there's 7 billion humans in the world plus, I guess, right? And wouldn't it be nice just to fucking stand out and be interesting and have people be interested in you? And that's totally ego, right? Totally your ego. But at the same time, ego is not 100% bad. Ego is not 100% good either. Learn how to tame it. Kill off there's a bunch of different types of ego, but the main one that you want to kill off and you want to strangle and want to die and never come back ever again is the ego. To where there's two that I'm not very fond of. One of them is the ego where you think your shit doesn't stink, or you act like you walk through this life like you don't take a shit. Like everybody poops, everybody shits, just on a some shit on a toilet, some shit out on the ground. Okay, the other ego that is tricky is very dark and twisted in a way. I believe that ego is the one that hides the truth from you and makes you put on this fake face every day when you look at yourself in the mirror. And what that fake face is you think take this with a grain of salt. But when you really got yourself into a position to where you're like, hey, money, I got the car, so I need to work in order for the car, and my work is more important than my heart and what I really want to do, and it's all good, don't even trip. That's another ego trap, I believe, right? It may be right, may not be right. So the real thing is, what I say is numbers show. So if you're really about it, you're gonna have the songs, you're gonna have the views, you're gonna have the love, you're gonna have the support. That's what the universe fucking shows. You'll have the money from your music, or your movie, or your books. You'll have the attention from your books, from your movies, from your music. You'll have everything that you want if you do it right, not in an egocentric way. That's the main thing I'm trying to push across. And sometimes I'm like, am I in the right fucking niche or niche? You know what I mean? Like, music is full of egotistical fucks. But then I think about it and I go, that's the goddamn world. The world's full of egotistical fucks, alright? So I'm gonna be the one to fucking crush that fucking ego, right? To the death of me. And what is that? That might be ego coming from me. So who fucking really knows? All I know is that everything that you strive for will show up in due time when you put out the music you do. And if you don't, and you never make it, something went wrong. Something that you didn't pander out correctly. So it's a lot of stuff to take, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't think people think about consciousness on that level, and they just see everything at face value, like, oh, Lil Pump's on top, Lil Pump's on top. But no one understands and realizes what Lil Pump as an artist has to go through. And, in due time, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, if he's still going to be popping, because everyone's so trapped right now, so we'll just see. We'll see what happens in due time, right? But yeah, so back to this. Boom, baby. Okay, so it's got the barcode, 14 tracks. So what I did was I got 300 of those printed out. All of them worked. All of them came back perfectly. I picked them up, Fremont, California, and I said, this is either going to be this is something that I've wanted to do since I was a kid. Ever since I was a kid, seeing CDs and having my mom buy them and stuff like that, I was like, I could do that too. I could make a CD of my own one day, because that's how much I believe in music and the power of it. So, not only was I taking the CDs to the streets, which is what I wanted to do. Kid Crew, what up, D? I was just talking mad shit about you, boy. I was saying how in the band Scala, good old Demise has to take care of the boys and wipe their butts. No, I'm just kidding. But what I was saying was,
how can Can't call a career.